So welcome back, guys. This is a course on AI and finance. So I'll try to link the things that how AI influencing finance. That's the future of smart decision making, where we are empowering the finance with intelligence and smarter and faster and safer things as we see along. I have seen lots of banks who are using artificial intelligence in order to maintain the credit history or buying and selling patterns from where you're accessing those things and stuff like that. I'm sure it would be used in Saudi Arabia as well. The kind of banking system that I have seen over there is an amazing setup as far as the web apps and the mobile apps are concerned. Now, we cannot ignore the overall importance of AI in finance or marketing or HR or anywhere around that we are looking for. Now, in academics, we are covering how do we work on the models of artificial intelligence by the generative models and stuff. That's not the scope of this course, but a lecture on that is already there on my channel. I'll be talking about later, like in the slides, you'll see the link to that as well. And if you're watching this video, it means that you're at the right place. So we are working on lots of other things on generative AI. In my last session, we talked about how do we work on that and how do we come up with those algorithms that would help you in making the right decisions for your sort of businesses, etc. So today the topics for discussion would be an introduction to AI and finance, basics of AI and machine learning, AI applications and financial management, some case studies of the real-time examples, some challenges, ethics and risks, and then we have some future trends in AI and finance, and followed by we'll be talking about question and answer sessions, etc. Now, you might have heard of DeepSeek, which is recently released by China as a competitor of ChatGPT. You might be using it for different purposes, but these are just models and we are using it for various different purposes in order to take the maximum benefit out of the AI technology which is there. It's not for coding only, it's not for writing essays, it's not for the research purposes. It has a lot to offer if we are talking about overall life and overall decision making process, etc. Now, there would be people who are using ChatGPT Plus, which is the premium version of it. It's only $20 a month, but against that, the kind of features that it's offering is enormous. Like, even if you're talking about, for example, negotiations between two different parties, it can even help you in that if you are stuck somewhere in a decision-making process. If you are in the middle of an agreement with someone, it would draft things that would look very natural to what we are doing. But the key over there is that it's a language model, or it's a thought process. It's a artificial intelligence which is there. And we need to train the model to tell that who are we, what are we trying to achieve. Only then we can get the right output from these models. Now, if you have been searching a lot on ChatGPT, give it a try where you would enter some details like, based on the information that I have shared with you, draw a picture of me showing the overall behavior and my life in a picture. So it would generate a picture, and you'll be amazed to see that it would come up with a picture which is very much similar to your lifestyle, whatever you do, your field of expertise, your education, and stuff like that. It would even draw a picture of you, like an image which would depict you somehow, not actually, but it would try to guess that that would be your personality. It means that there is an intelligence in the background which is keeping track of whatever you're doing and whatever you're using and how you're using it. It's all about getting used to these technologies and making sure that whatever you're doing on these technologies should reflect that how can you train these systems to use that chat GPT and stuff like that. Now, if you are on chat GPT and you want to ask something, you might have seen that there are different ways of handling or using this technology. As you can see that I have my chat GPT in front of me. For your daily tasks, if you're working somewhere and if you want to get the maximum out of it, you'll start saying, "Hi, I'm a professional in finance, working in a bank. I need some help in decision making. Can you help me in that?" Now, the main question is that why are we writing this over here? What's the main purpose behind it? So the main reason why we do that is that we want to train the model to tell it that who are you, what you're trying to achieve, what's your objective, and what you want to get as an outcome of this. Now, if I asked it like, "Hi, I'm a professional in finance working in a bank. I need some help in decision making. Can you help me in that?" So it asks you that what kind of help are you looking for? Is it related to investment strategies, risk assessment, financial planning, and career growth, etc.? So it is actually trying to understand that what are you trying to achieve out of this model. So once we'll train the model, we tell them that this is me, that's what I'm trying to do, I need an investment strategy, this is my information, and I need information in this format. And it would do wonders in generating all those things. So let's see an introduction to AI in finance. And that's the channel. I posted the link in the chat as well. It's talking about what is AI. You might have heard of artificial intelligence. That's fine. You might have heard of machine learning, and we have deep learning. So they are closely related to each other. And we need to understand that why are we using it and what's the main purpose of it. Artificial intelligence, the simulation of human intelligence process by machines, especially computer systems. These processes include learning, the acquisition of information, rules of using information, reasoning, using rules of approximate or definite decisions, and self-correction. So we are telling a model, that's exactly what we did in ChatGPT, that it's the acquisition of information, rules of using the information. So that's the rules that we are putting in order to make sure that we understand the maximum out of it. And then it's a self-correction as well. So it's even written that ChatGPT 4.0 was developed by ChatGPT 3.5. So a logic is making next logic for its next model. So it learned from the mistakes which were there in your previous systems, and then it took all that information, making sure that it would rectify the information and it would come up with something new and advanced. And I'll be talking about generative AI later, that I would tell you that if you have your financial data which is related to your bank or related to your organization, but you want to keep the information private, not public, you don't want to use ChatGPT, yet you want to get the maximum benefit out of it. I'll be talking about it later in the session. Let me note it down somewhere. So that's artificial intelligence. And then we have a thing called machine learning, a subset of AI that involves the use of algorithms, statistics, models that enable the computers to improve their performance on a task through experience. Instead of being explicit programmed, machine learning systems learn the patterns from data. So It is learning the patterns from the data automatically because it is a machine which is learning your data to come up with something. Now let's read deep learning, then I'll explain it again that what is it? It's a subset of machine learning that utilizes neural networks with many layers, which we say as deep, to analyze various factors of data. Deep learning models can automatically discover representations from data such as images, sound, text without manual feature extraction, etc. Now, all those huge marketing campaigns these days, they are out there because of a reason, and why they are successful is because we are making targeted decisions, targeted forecasting, the things that we check for the investment opportunities, and even the overall market trends, how it's going and where it's going to be. It's all because of deep learning, which is a subset of machine learning. Now, if you remember, like when I was growing up, at least the first time when ERPs came, which is the enterprise resource planning systems, those ERP systems were out there. They were helping us out in overall reshaping the businesses, like you're using SAP in most of the organizations, which is an enterprise resource planning system. It has different modules that you use in order to take the maximum benefit out of the kind of business that you're in. So it means that it would give you the best practices of doing things. If you don't have the best practices, the system would have everything. All you need to do is just customize the system according to your environment and deploy it. And we use those systems in order to use it. Now, with artificial intelligence, all these new systems added an additional power to that. So if, for example, we'll talk about marketing in machine learning and deep learning, it helped us in understanding the overall patterns of market. If you're running an e-commerce store and you want to have, for example, a sales period during Eid holidays, which is like in a couple of months. So what you would do is that using machine learning or deep learning, you'll ask the system that please go in the database of my sales and tell me that which products were the top selling in past, for example, 12 months with the best rate of return and less rate of return, like the people who have returned the products, rejected products and stuff like that. So it would go through the data and it would tell you that these are the products which are at top. Then you'd ask it that tell me the timings which are the best to sell this product in a promotion period. It would go through the data, it would find the trends, and it would tell you that the best sale time for this product was between 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. So that's why you see that if you'll go in most of the websites and you'll try to buy something, it would say that you have only 4 hours left. Well, most of the times it's scam, but still they are using that time based on the information that you have from the data which was there. Same thing in finance and stocks and stuff like that. These systems would go through the data and would pull out the information which would be helpful for you in order to take informed decisions. Now, that's exactly what's happening in most of the stock exchanges and stuff like that. So if I'll show you an example of it, that what's going on in finance, we'll talk about Olama later, but let's start from trading bots, Binance. You're all aware of Binance. What is it? It's a trading platform for cryptocurrencies. Fine. We are not concerned about that, but we can't ignore the reality of it. You have different bots, you have algorithms, you have sideways, you have bullish, you have bearish, auto investment and stuff like that. So these are bots which are backed by artificial intelligence, working on models of finance, taking the decisions, investing your money, getting the profit out of it. Like, can you rely on it? That's questionable, but it's there and it's growing. So Binance is not the only thing. Move to another thing, Coinbase, trading bot. Again, there are bots which are intelligent enough to look at the market trends which are there and to take decisions on that. Then we have Composite Trader, that's another one, a composer trade, which is building trading algorithms with AI to backtest them, then exclude all in one platform, no coding or skills required, and see the trading volume and orders executed and the backtest runs on it. So AI is there everywhere. It's just the same thing that once the SAP systems came in market, most of the people were against using those systems, and they were like, we are not comfortable using all those different technologies because they might have some potential disadvantages of it, and they ended up using the computers at the end of the day for their daily tasks. Now, I remember I taught some courses on introduction to accounting as well. And in that we are balancing the debits and credits and stuff like that. We were doing it on Excel sheets at that time, and then SAP came and most of the systems were automated. Your end of year sales and everything is all on computers. So people who were used to doing it on papers or registers, they hated when Excel came. And then from Excel we moved to SAP products, and now from SAP products we are moving to artificially intelligent AI products. Now the question here is, I'm not good enough in these technologies. How would I utilize these technologies to the max? You don't need to worry about it, because most of these applications that you are using now, they would be backed by AI very soon. In most of the things that we are using in cybersecurity and digital forensics, they are backed by AI automatically these days. For example, the firewalls that we are using, they are backed by artificial intelligence, which is helping us the attack patterns, and if there is anything coming up, it would give us early alarms that this thing is vulnerable, so expect that something would go wrong over here. Same thing is for the banking applications or any finance applications or insurance applications that you are using or you would be using in future. It would have that module in it. You never know the kind of technologies which are implemented, they already have it inside. For example, it takes a lot of time to check the credit history of people. We have different firms like Experian and Credit Karma over here, which keeps track of the credit history of users. But banks have far superior systems than that. They are artificial intelligence based models. They'll automatically calculate your things. It would check. It would make sure that if you have any credit checks, it would check that if you have been paying on time. So it's not human intervention where humans would be checking all those things. It would be checked automatically, and it would be placed on a score chart that that's where you stand. But I have seen in most of these banks, like if you're new and you're building your credit history, for example, those young kids who'll start working and they don't have a credit history, there is a high probability that bank would block their accounts, because all of a sudden if they are trying to buy something from websites from where they might have not purchased it in the past, these AI models would pick it as a fraud or something, and they'll block your account temporarily. So that's why we use these technologies, and they come up backed up with all that information which is there. Further, if you're checking the information related to an individual on these systems, it would automatically pull some charts and stuff like that, with the help of which you can take informed decisions about certain things. Now, that's the difference between artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. The definition is broad that we have covered already. Then deep dependency of artificial intelligence can operate with predefined rules of logic, whereas machine learning and deep learning, they would require the data to be there. So you might have seen that we don't throw the data away, which is there with the mobile sector, with the finance, with accounting, with insurance. We keep all those previous records of people to investigate and find the trends about it in the market so that we can take informed decisions that would help us in reshaping the future, and of course a benefit for our organization. The complexity of artificial intelligence includes with simple if then rules. Complex decision making systems are there. You can even change these things. It would involve the algorithms that can learn from data in machine learning, or would involve complex architectures that would help you in understanding that. Now, why AI matters in finance? First of all, automation. AI would automate the routine task, reducing the manual effort of minimizing. For example, it can automate your data entry, reconciliation, and report generation, which is there. So based on the data that you have entered on an Excel sheet or anything, you can simply upload it. If it's not confidential, if it's not highly confidential, you can upload it to these models and ask them to generate a report based on these parameters, and it would generate all that for you. Big data processing is not an issue. The financial industry generates vast amount of data, so AI systems can process and analyze that data efficiently by uncovering insights that might be discussed in the traditional methods. So maybe if you would ask it to generate a pie chart or tell me the strengths and weaknesses of this data, maybe you didn't focus on something, but it would be able to generate the charts which would help you in understanding that, yeah, I didn't focus on this thing, and that's an emerging pattern, and we should be working on that. So though you don't like artificial intelligence to some extent, you don't rely on that, but you cannot ignore the importance of it. Now, Microsoft is including artificial intelligence. Google is including artificial intelligence in their applications. You never know the next product of Microsoft Office which would be out there. You don't need to work on the data. It would go through your Excel sheets and it would generate the charts based on artificial intelligence. Google Sheets has artificial intelligence already built in. The latest operating systems that you are using, they might have artificial intelligence in it. So the operating system would work much better and efficiently than it is now, because now we need to understand lots of things. Instead, if we want to use most of these applications in future and you don't know how to do those things, you remember that Clippy thing which used to be there in Microsoft Office, asking you that if you have a question, you can ask me. It's the form of the artificial intelligence that they introduced long time ago. And a similar thing could be there where it would ask you that you're stuck, tell me what to do. And you'll type in simple words, and it's not bound to language. If you want to type in Arabic, English, or French, German, any language, it would understand it and then it would tell you the prompts, or it would execute the task for you where you're struggling for that. So it's gonna be there. It would be used heavily whether we like it or not. And most of these applications, especially the big ones like SAP or the banking applications, it would come natively inside. Your task would be to intelligently use that in your day-to-day operations. Next is predictive analytics. An AI model can predict the market trends, customer behaviors, potential risk, and analyze the historical data identifying these patterns. So it would go through the data, it would seek the information which was there, the data and trends which you were not focusing on since you're looking at the latest information which is there. And this capability aids to the decision-making process such as investment strategies and risk management. Now, if we are talking about risk management, let's think of the insurance policies that we have, as in different parts of the world, we have a very high fatal rate for accidents and stuff like that. Whereas there are other cities where we don't have a lot of traffic, which are comparatively safer than the metropolitan cities. So do you really think that the insurance premium that you're paying for big cities with high accident rate is justifiable for the people who drive rashly and there is a lot of traffic and there are high chances of accidents, as compared to small neighborhoods where you don't have a lot of traffic and there are less accidents? So the premium could not be the same for those two different regions. And then we'll have to do the risk management as well, that maybe we are charging less, but in big cities, since there is a high probability that you'll end up in an accident, we must have a higher premium fee for those big cities, whereas we are having a less premium fee for a smaller city. Thus we are making maximum benefit, and then we are helping the citizens or the people who are living in those small neighborhoods, that yeah, we know you're there, but we are taking care of it by giving you the discounted rates which are applicable to your cities. Now here in US we have insurance policies which are valid for 6 months instead of for a year. So if they are valid for 6 months, you can take care of that thing, that maybe a person changed from one city to another and they are still enjoying the benefits of it, of a lower premium and stuff. But these applications would really help in identifying those patterns and would give you the actual rates, whereas it would even help the customers in making sure that they are not overpaying for things which are not required. Now, in the finance, it would be fraud detection. Like AI system can monitor the transactions in real time, identify anomalies that may indicate fraudulent activity. For example, you're in Saudi Arabia or you're in United States and you are using your credit card, and throughout your credit history, you have been using your credit card in, for example, United States, different states of United States, but you didn't use it anywhere else outside the US. So as soon as my credit card would be used, like I had a transaction this morning and all of a sudden the second transaction takes place somewhere else outside the country. So the systems would pick it. The person would immediately receive an SMS that we identified that you made a transaction. If you agree, reply to this message by 1 or 2 as the message appears. Else, if you have used it, you can confirm it and you're good. But if anything like that happens which is outside the region, it would automatically pick it and would block the account. There is no human intervention required at that case, where someone will have to come and do those things. Customer service, chatbot powered AI handle customer service inquiries, providing instant response and improving the service efficiency. Now, most of the mobile company operators, you can see that if you have some typical questions, there would be a chatbot which would be answering your questions and it would give the answers to the questions. You don't need to really wait for the customer service and you'll be served. But there is still an option where you can talk to the customer service and get your things sorted out at the end of the chatbot once it starts. Then credit scoring is also another thing where AI would evaluate the broader range of the data points and assess the credit worthiness of it, potentially increase the access or credit limits of individuals based on their credit histories. Now, next thing is that a brief history of from Excel models to AI-driven decision making. In 1980s, it started with the introduction of expert systems. We were taught, and then in 1990 we adopted the machine learning. It started coming. Then in 2000 we have advancement in. So in 2000 advancements were there, and then 2010 at present there is a lot going on in AI driven risk management tools, advanced predictive models and market analysis. Now let's understand the generative AI versus the narrow AI. Narrow AI is a weak AI system designed to perform specific tasks without processing conscious or genuine intelligence. These are AI applications that would prevent applications which are prevalent today. For example, you have your voice assistants like Siri or Alexa. Most of us are using it. For the iPhone users, they have Siri, and the home devices are there for Alexa. Recommendation systems are there, for example, Netflix and Amazon, and autonomous vehicles, self-driving cars like Tesla, etc. Now, they use generative AI. They actually use the narrow AI in order to catch most of the people who are using Netflix. For example, the pricing of Netflix is different in different countries. So if someone has purchased it from a country and they are not in that country, and they have traveled outside that country, maybe the system would pick it and it would cancel the subscription because you're not in that country or the region where you actually purchased the product from. Before it wasn't possible because individuals will have to monitor the IP addresses and rest of the things. So it used to take a lot of time to find out that if you have subscription from a region, if you're there in that region or not. But with the help of AI, it is helping us in finding those things. Now, generative AI is a hypothetical system capable of understanding, learning, and applying the intelligence across broad range of tasks similar to human cognitive abilities. Now, as of now, generative AI remains the theoretical and is subject to ongoing research that we are doing. And as I told you that I'll show you a website which is related to that. So if you want and you're interested, you can go and look for the language models which are there, just like you might have heard of DeepSeek, which is released by China recently. They have their model here as well. You'll click download and it would tell you that for which operating system you want to download and set it up on your system. Now, they have different models. As you can see that they have DeepSeek, they have Llama, they have Amphi, and then lots of different are there. You can even search it by what kind of model you're looking for. For example, if I'll type in finance, I have finance models different that you can implement. There are embedding, vision, tools for that. Finance, it's not there, but there are lots of applications for that if you're going on tools, vision, and embedding, and lots of text-based systems. Now, why are we talking about Llama over here? We have ChatGPT, we have DeepSeek, we have Meta AI, we have Gemini, we have Copilot, we have lots of different AI-based models. But the benefit of these models is that you can have your own setup on your system, maybe within your office environment, which is not connected to the internet. So this model would be downloaded, it would be on your system, and you can use it as you want to use it. Without leaking any information out of it, you can update the model. You can tell it that keep in the memory the data that we have shared so far. So it would remain within your organization and you don't have to worry about that this data is shared with anyone else. You can even keep it in isolated systems which are not even connected to the internet. Whenever an update of that model would come, you'll simply download it from here and upload it on your system. That would enhance the knowledge of that rather than relying on these web-based artificial intelligence systems. So narrow AI and generative AI, the scope is designed for specific tasks for narrow AI, just like on your mobile phones, whereas generative AI is capable of performing any intellectual tasks. Narrow AI is limited with the predefined functions, whereas generative AI is adaptive. For the development status, it's actively used in various industries, just like we have seen on, we say, okay, Google on our Android devices, it's Siri for iPhones and Apple products, whereas on generative AI, it's currently theoretical and not yet realized. But you can see that in your mobile phones as well, most of the cameras which are coming in, they are coming in with the artificial intelligence in order to touch up the pictures and do things accordingly. Now, next thing is, if you look at the examples, we have the voice assistant recommendations for narrow AI, whereas there are none in generative AI. Now let's see the basics of AI and machine learning. Type of machine learning. Machine learning is a subset that would enable the systems to learn from the data, improve their performance over the time without explicit programming. So you don't have to worry about it. Those systems are there, which are taking care of all those things. Supervised learning would be required for model to be trained, like the data, the input, the kind of data that you're providing and stuff. So for example, if we are using it for classifying the emails or spam or not spam, these systems would monitor all the activities which are taking place, and it would tell you that if the emails that you are receiving, it's spam, or you can rely on it. Credit scoring, predictive likelihood of borrowing, and defaulters. Like if someone is there to take a loan, you know that the person would actually return it or not. Then unsupervised learning, different models of segmentations are there for customers based on their purchasing behaviors, that what are they usually buying and whether they are buying all that stuff that falls in their credit history or not, or anomaly based detection to identify unusual transactions that might identify a fraud that is taking place. So instead of individuals investigating all those things, finance would help you over there. So it would take a lot of headache off the shoulders of the finance guys. Now, reinforcement learning is a model learned by interactive with the environment, receiving feedback in form of the rewards, penalties, or adjusting its actions to achieve optimal results, like trading algorithms, making buying and selling decisions to maximize the returns, and game playing for the AI system to mastering the games like chess, etc. Now, in US, for the end of service benefits, for example, if you work for an organization, every month a part of your income would be going for your retirement plan. You'll be contributing on it. Even your employer would be contributing on it, a part of it. So all that money is accumulated somewhere, which is tax free. So now those platforms who are managing this amount, they are giving you an option that if you want, you can invest that money, which is for your retirement plan. So though it's your money, it's there, it's non-taxable, but it is invested and you'll earn a profit on that. Now, it's a double-ended thing where you'll have to keep an eye on the overall finance part of it, like how much money is there, how much you're investing, how much you're keeping, what would be the terms and conditions. But most of those platforms who are maintaining our end of service benefits, they have provided us a feature of a auto or artificial intelligence based trading platforms. So if we can choose, we'll pay a premium amount of it, which is nominal, and those AI bots would look at the market trends, they'll invest our money, they'll book the profits, and then they'll reinvest, and then they'll book the profit. So it's an AI thing which is tested, and they have seen it according to the market trends, and they are constantly investing and making more money out of it. So if we look at the comparison of data requirement, goal, and example of supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement is that for data requirements, they are different for both all of them. The goals are different and the examples of all of them are different. So if we are looking at finance, the reinforcement learning would be trading algorithms and game playing, etc., which plays an important role where AI is doing all those things. Now, in stock prices prediction and market trends, most of the big stock exchanges like NASDAQ, etc., you might have seen that they have introduced a model of artificial intelligence where you can use it for price prediction and market trends. So if you're not using it for investing purposes, it would at least show you the market trend and predictions based on the history for that specific company. So it would utilize the AI algorithm to analyze the vast data sets, including the historical prices, financial reports, or the news that would forecast the future movements. So since these models are capable of reading the latest information about that, DeepSeek is an example of it that you might have seen, which is released by China, which is capable of doing all those things. So that's the AI stock. And then high frequency trading in AI is also there, where it would employ the AI to execute numerous trades at extremely high speed, capitalize, and minute price discrepancies. Now, most of these features which are there in most of the platforms which are trading and stuff, the big ones who are quite famous out there in market, they are charging you a lot, but the rate of return is quite high for those products which they are using. Now, further AI applications in financial management, it is for credit scoring and risk models. It would apply the AI to assess the credit worthiness, by analyzing the diverse data points beyond the traditional credit score. So it's not like the basic credit history that you are going through. These models will evaluate the factors like payment history, spending the patterns, and social media activities, etc., to know that what you're doing actually with that. Now, detecting the fraudulent transactions using the anomaly detection is also helping us in finding a real-time deviations from a typical behavior that you might have. As I told you that all of a sudden, if a credit card is used somewhere else and you know that you never use your credit card over there, AI system would flag the unusual transaction patterns such as unexpected large withdrawal or purchases, which are there and they are being enforced based on the transactions which are taking place. Now, next we have portfolio and investment management. Like there are robots and advisors for automated finance planning, which is there. It is a digital platform that would provide automated algorithm driven like financial planning services with minimum human intervention. Example is robo advisors are there, which would access the individual financial records, risk tolerance, and create and manage a personalized investment portfolio for you. So just imagine that you're new, you want to invest something, but you don't know where to invest and where to start from. So these automated financial planning advisors, they would go through your credit history and would tell you that you can start from here. Just like in most of the banks, the stock exchanges or their own trading platforms are linked to your banks. So if you want to invest in NASDAQ, for example, and if my bank is linked to the trading platform, I don't need to do anything other than just going to the trading platform of my bank, and it would tell me that based on my credit history and my usage patterns, I should be investing in these things because it is showing a good profit, and then there is a news coming that they are going to have a merger with another company. It would tell us about the investment opportunity where we can invest and we can make a good profit on those things. Further, in AI asset allocation and portfolio rebalancing, it would employ an AI to optimize the distribution of assets in portfolio and adjust the holding to maintain the desired allocation. So if a money is constantly coming from your bank account to your trading platform, it would actually just use that money equally distributed to the next stocks that you want to buy, and it would analyze the market conditions, individual investment performance, and recommend the reallocation to ensure alignment with the investment objectives. Further, in corporate finance and compliance, AI would forecast the cash flow revenue, leading or leveraging the AI to predict the future financial metrics. For example, AI model can forecast the cash flow revenue, which would assist the companies in budgeting and strategic planning. Then we have regulatory compliance like KYC and anti-money laundering, etc. It would apply AI to ensure the adherence to the regulatory requirements, etc., to make sure that we are using the best practices out there. So let's see some of the real-time examples that we have, case studies. For example, JP Morgan, which is a Chase bank. They're using a COIN, which is a contract intelligence platform, an AI-based platform developed for JP Morgan Chase to automate and review the analysis of legal documents, etc. It's very efficient. It has significantly reduced the time required to review the complex contracts. Further, it's accurately checking and minimizing the human error by consistent interpreting the legal terms and clauses. So they don't have to go through all those documentation. It is checking it for them. Impact is that it has reduced the time spent for tasks like repeated tasks like business credit agreements for 360,000 hours by annually, which they were spending in checking the credit reports and rest of the other things of individuals. Now, resource allocation by automating the routine tasks. Legal teams can focus more on complex and strategic things. Then the second example, or a big example for us, is Renaissance Technologies, which is using AI-driven trading strategies. It's a fund renowned by its quantitative trading strategies, leveraging the AI and machine learning So data-driven decisions are there. The firm employs the complex algorithms to analyze vast data sets. High-frequency tradings are there to utilize AI. And then its impact is that the firm flagship is using a fund has achieved remarkable returns in, and then the market influence is there that they are using it for those purposes. The next is financial tech, Upstart. It's a company that uses AI to improve the lending process. AI-based lending process, which is there in Upstart platform, has evaluated the broader range of data points and assets, creditworthiness, etc., beyond traditional credit scores. And then risk assessment is there to analyze the factors like education, employment history, and behavior trends, etc. It helped them in considering the alternative data Upstart. Plus, it has improved the loan performance with AI-driven assessments and has resulted in lower default rates, etc. So they are heavily using it over there. Now, just like anything, we have certain challenges and ethics and risks, etc. These are the limitations of AI that we do understand that they are there, and we need to make sure that we acknowledge those things and use it comfortably to make sure that we are not going in the wrong direction. Model bias could be there. AI model can learn from the biases present in the training data. So if the data was not in the right format, or it wasn't fed with the right data, there could be some unfair or discriminatory outcomes over there as well. Then we have many AI models which are especially deep learning, which would operate on black boxes, making it difficult to understand that how the decisions are being made. Lack of transparency is there. And then we have a developing explainable AI, which is a technique to make models more transparent so that we know that the data is coming from where and how it's actually being used. Further, in certain countries, there are some regulatory risks as well that would involve in AI regulations, which can lead to legal penalties and reputational damage. If a company can sue you that you took the data and used it for training purposes, which wasn't the data from their organization, so you could be in trouble there as well. Further considerations could be there for financial institutions must stay of the global regulatory requirements which are there to make sure that they don't end up into having issues. The ethical concerns is fairness in lending. AI model might unintentionally discriminate against the certain groups, leading to unfair lending practices. We don't want that. So the solution could be irregular audits and fairness assessment should be there, and it should be fed to the AI models so that it's not taking a biased decision over there. It should have an impact on the employment. Of course, the automation and AI could lead to job displacement as well in the financial sector, but we can better utilize that capital somewhere else, which is a human capital, and it is really important. Further strategies of investing in employees, scaling up, providing them skills to use these technologies would really help us. And regulatory issues like GDPR could be there, which is General Data Protection Regulation. Just like for educational institutions in most of the countries, it's not allowed education, medical, insurance. Data should not be kept outside the country. So if you have an AI model, you'll have to make sure that you are using the cloud-based services which are available in your country and you are utilizing it. And if you're using it somewhere else outside the country, some countries don't allow that the data related to their citizens should be within the premises of the country. AI can even act as a purpose of EU legislation where they are regulating the AI categorization of application based on the risk levels. So the requirement could be high risk AI systems in finance may need to meet stringent requirements and transparency. Further, global regulatory landscape is also there in diverse applications such as countries with the developing their own AI models, regulations leading to complex compliance environments for international institutions, etc. Action plan could be to establish comprehensive governance framework to mitigate these kind of risks. Future trends in AI and finance is that we need to make sure that generative AI and financial reporting is used in a proper way where the algorithms can predict the new context such as images based on the learned patterns and the information in AI financial reporting, etc., which is a generative AI transforming how the reports are prepared and analyzed. Applications could be automated report generation, where it can analyze the historical financial data and create the accurate, comprehensive financial reports, as I showed you on ChatGPT and other things. Enhanced analysis for the processing vast data sets. Generative AI can identify those trends, and the benefit could be streamlining the reporting process because it can generate really professional reports which would be used for the strategic tasks, etc. Now, accuracy is always a factor where it would reduce human error by automating the data, trends, etc., but you'll have to check all those things manually. Further, AI-powered decentralized finance is there, which utilizes the blockchain technology to offer financial services without traditional intermediaries, etc. The AI model would define or would enhance the capabilities leading to the emergence of DeFi, that they are calling as decentralized finance, and application could be automated trading by AI algorithms and risk assessment. Benefits could be the efficiency of the transactions and speed, and further the security is there. Quantum computing is being used to impact the finance. That would leverage the principle of quantitative or the quantum mechanics of the to perform the computational and more complex than current classical computers can handle. So it is capable of taking huge data sets, going through the trends of it, and telling you that that's the market trend or that could be the future market trends of it. Portfolio organization optimization could be there with quantum computing. Risk analysis, which would improve the computational power and would allow for more comprehensive simulations and stress testing. First, we can use the cryptography to make sure that we are making sure that our transactions are 100% transparent and no one can crack those algorithms. Now, just to go through a couple of websites which are worth looking at, if you'll go to MIT management, in their school, they are talking about finance tabs, generative AI, which we just talked about, to streamline the accounting and hiring tasks, etc. So if you're interested, go through and read about on their website that how they are doing it and how AI can help in finance operate more efficiently, etc. So they are constantly working on using AI on that, and MIT is a big school, and if they are incorporating it in their studies, it's a high time to jump into it and learn about all those things. Then we have algorithmic trading journey with EPAT. That's generative AI automated trading, as you can see, and that's what they are explaining, that how ChatGPT in quant finance, which we just talked about, is helping finance research and trading, etc. So they are working on that. Then we have leading educational excellence on AI Finance Academy, which is using all those things, and there are experts who are talking about it, that how can we use it for assessment, basic training, skill development, and goal settings, etc., which is there. And there are best AI for finance platforms, 14 best AI tools that you can use for that. Finance chat AI is there. Then we have FineChart versus LLM. So you can use these as compared to ChatGPT and other things. So FinChat is a thing that you're looking for based on LLM models. Then we have the TrueWind AI, Bookie AI, then we have NanoNets, Trullian, lots of them are there that you can use and utilize for financial transactions that you're doing. So a good website for FineChat, you can go through it and find the tools that are used for that. And finally, we have AI tools for financial analysis. Again, they are also talking about the tools that you can use in order to make predictive analysis and lots of other things. So some good pieces of information is there out there which would help you in your businesses and your everyday tasks.